Good evening, beautiful souls. I just want to stop in this evening and honestly give my first ever book review. And the book I will be reviewing is The Crooked Path by Keldon and forward by Gemma Gary. It's an introduction to natural witchcraft. As far as I would say it's a beginner's book. Or at least maybe in between beginning and intermediate. Something like that. There does have some good pointers, some good exercises. Honestly, I would say if you was getting into the traditional witchcraft, I would probably say if you're like a newbie, I would pick up honestly like a historical book first and find out the history on witchcraft and especially traditional witchcraft. But this book I thought was really good and very well written. Instead of chapters, it comes into parts. So, part one, it discusses, it defines traditional witchcraft. Even has a little bit of the historical development of traditional witchcraft. And also along the way, it has exercises for each part, which I think is very nice. Part two, it's got the magical basics, about traditional witchcraft tools, rituals for traditional witchcraft, and spellcraft. Working with magic. Part three is working with the other world. It talks about the witch father and mother, ancestors, familiars. And intro to the other world. Part four is, working with natural landscapes. So it's engaging with the landscape, plants, stones, and animals, seasons, weathers, and planets. Now, one part in this book, under that section I think is very cool, is got the planetary squares. So I think it's kind of nifty. Part five is establishing your traditional witchcraft practice. Honestly, me first starting out, I thought that I was going to be a traditional witch. But the more research that I've done, I think that I still would consider myself as more an eclectic witch. Some of the traditional witchcraft, resonates with me, and some of it don't. And it also has like recipes for just say certain salves, incense. It's a bunch of exercises now, and for the exercises' sake, I do think that's wonderful. As far as a rounded book, I thought it was very, very good. And then, has a conclusion and a brief witch's farewell. The book itself is wonderful. And when we're talking about traditional witchcraft, we are actually talking about traditional witchcraft. So, so some stuff might be referred to, things they did years and years and years ago. The first ever witches, I guess our witch ancestors, you would say. But I think it's a very good read. So if you'd be interested in traditional witchcraft, I would say pick up this book and give it a good read and maybe take some notes and see if it resonates with you. And if not, that's okay. But I still suggest buying it, even if you're not a traditional witch. You might see a few things in there that might, catch your eye, something you might like to try, or even something you might like to make. I know it does touch on simple stuff like of course the witch's ladder and certain little jar spells and poppets and even little stories pertaining to I guess how it become of the first ever just say jar spell or protection magic and this and that. So I mean, I ain't trying to ruin it and tell you everything in the book, but I think it is worth a read. I guess I would probably give it a I would say as a book as a whole, I'll give it a 5-star, but me as within my own practice, I guess I would have to give it a 4-star. That's just honest opinion, but I don't know. I guess check it out, see what you guys think. And if you want to, leave it in the comments. I like to hear everybody's opinions. Maybe something resonated with you, it didn't me. Just leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and blessed it be.